you doing? This is TVN School. Вивчаємо з тобою ми англійську. How are you? Що скажеш, коли ти зустрінеш якогось іноземця? So, let's speak English. Англійська мова Шекспіра та нью-йоркських таксистів. Англійська стане у нагоді вам, boys і дівчиська.
Okay guys, welcome back. And today you're going to have a writing lesson. So, would you please get ready with your copybooks? Today we'll do the writing just on the lesson, and by the end of the lesson you will have your CV written. A CV. What is a CV? Do you know? When you apply for a job, you need to send the future employer your CV. So, what is a resume? A resume is a document that summarizes your skills, experience, and educational background. Employers look at resumes or CVs to find qualified employees. Okay, the next question, who needs a resume? Everybody who wants a job needs a resume. I have never seen anybody taken on a good position without a resume and a cover letter. Okay, the next one. Why is resume important? A resume is like an advertisement that sells you to an employer. It is almost always the first step to getting an interview. Well, when you see some new product, you wouldn't take it because you know nothing about it. But then you see the advertisement. It is bright, it is short, and it makes you want to buy something. The same, when you come to the job market, you sell yourself. And you have to make a very, very nice advertisement of yourself. That is your resume or CV. How have resumes changed with technology? 20, 30 years ago, people would write their resumes by hand or type them on the type machines or maybe print them out if they had computers. So people would bring their resumes directly to the office in person. But now, with new technology and digital opportunities, we can send them via the internet. And today, resumes must be created with word processing software. And there are even special forms for the resumes. And many employers now only accept them submitted through email or in the web, even sometimes on the site of the company you are applying to. Okay, then comes, what makes a good resume? A good resume should tell your story. Please don't lie in it. It should demonstrate your professional growth and development. You should start with something you had long time ago and go to your present days. A good resume needs to be thorough yet concise. Once again, last lesson we used this word, concise. It means short. Why concise? Why short? That's the answer to the next question. And how long does the employer typically look at the CV? It usually takes a minute, just a minute. Can you read a lot in a minute? No. You can read really a short text. And you must make a good first impression. It's impossible to have the other first impression. So even the tiniest mistake can make a huge difference between the interview or not. Whether you would be invited to the interview or your CV would be just put aside. Okay, so I think that I've answered all the questions you may have on CV. Now let's get ready to your writing. So we'll start with the topics or points that you need or you don't need to have in your CV. Tick all the things that you write on a CV. Then we'll look through the CV of a girl and her job offers to see if we are right. Okay, let's look through all the options we have. So the first one, date of birth. Do you need to put it into your CV? Maybe yes. Then comes address. Think. Family. Well, is it personal or your employer should know about that? Then comes pets. Personal or not? Education history. Education history means all the schools or universities I used to go to. Then comes work experience. If you have a previous work experience, you have to write it down. Then comes skills. Do you remember skills? Skills like using the computer or soft skills like working in the team. The next one, friends. Do you need to put that into your CV? Languages spoken. If you know a foreign language, if you know more than one, should you attach it to your CV? References. References are really important. They are the good words from other people about you. They are recommendations from other people why you are a good or talented or imaginative, creative, just the best worker. Then comes telephone number. Maybe it's a must because people need to dial with you. Then comes email address and favorite food. Well, is it personal or not? We'll see. Now, I want you to take a close look on the CV of one girl and her job offers. Let's see. So, we've got here Natasha and Lane. And we can see her date of birth. It's January the 15th, 1998. Then she provides her contact information. First, you can see her address and that she lives in Liverpool. She writes the name of her street, the number of her house, and her zip code or postcode. Then she adds her email and then her phone number. The next part is her education. Take a look. She has 9 GCSEs, including English and math. Do you remember the lesson about the British educational system? 9 GCSEs means that she is a really bright student. And she mentions the school she studied at. And again, that school was in Liverpool. Then, she had some work experience. She was a helper at the Playland Nursery School in summer holidays for 1 month. Well, that's not a long one. And she worked as a waitress at Italia Pizza restaurant on Saturdays for 17 months. Well, that's more than a year. Languages. Well, apart from English, she knows 2 foreign languages on different levels. Well, she's got French at level B1, a very high level, I would say, and she's got a decent Spanish of A2. Well, that's really competitive. Then comes skills and interests. She's interested in swimming and lifeguard course. So she's not only a good swimmer, but she knows how to save lives on water. Very nice skill. And she's got the references from the Playland Nursery School, and that's a good one. Now, let's take a look at the other part of the page, and there are the jobs she is applying to. So, the first job is the job of a babysitter, and the working hours will be on weekends and maybe some evenings during the working week. Then it needs experience with children. Let's see if Natasha actually is a good match for that. Well, she worked as a helper in a nursery school. It means that she has some experience and she's got references from that school. Maybe it's a good match. Okay, the next one. Sol and Sombra Cafe needs waiters and waitresses for Saturdays 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Well, that seems to be a perfect match for Natasha because she has been working as a waitress for 17 months and actually on Saturdays. Then the next one, Computer Bites Shop. Shop assistant needed again on Saturdays from 9 to 5, and good knowledge of computers is necessary. Well, it's a good match in terms of time, as Saturdays are the days that Natasha can work, but not a good match according to her work experience. And the next one, lifeguard at Cherry Tree Road swimming pool. Well, a new option, and if to take her skills and interests, she is a skilled swimmer and she has had her lifeguard course. Maybe it's a good match. And if the clients are the children, maybe that's a good match too. Okay, so here is the CV of Natasha, and now let's see and check the information that you ticked or not. So let's see. Okay, guys, again, in the CV of Natasha, you saw her date of birth, her address, her education history, her work experience, her skills, the languages she speaks, and the references, the telephone number, and email address. Everything else is too personal to be on your CV. I will give you several more minutes to look through this CV and the job offers, because then we'll have to do the multiple choice activity. Okay, so once again, where does she live? Can you say that? Okay, she lives in Liverpool. The next one, what school does she study at? It's IFSOP High School, again in Liverpool. And what were her majors in GCSE? English and math. Then, how long did she work as a waitress? It says 17 months. Or maybe she still works as a waitress. Then she was a helper only for 1 month. How many languages does she know? 2, apart from English. And what is her skill? Swimming. And her interest is also swimming. And take a look at the jobs once again. So babysitter, waiter, computer, salesperson, and a lifeguard. Okay, I think that you are ready for the multiple choice test. Let's see. Circle the best answer or answers to complete these sentences. The first one, where does Natasha live? Choose the correct answer. Okay. How many of her exams did Natasha pass at school? None or 9? Okay, the answer is obvious. Okay. Natasha doesn't have an email address. True, false, answer not given. Okay. Are all the advertised jobs for weekend work? It means, are all the jobs for the weekends only, or there was the job that required to work during the work days? Okay. Which 2 jobs are for weekend evenings? So find place a babysitter, a waitress and the waitresses, computer, shop assistant, or a lifeguard. So there more than one answer is possible. The next one, which 3 jobs could Natasha apply for? So let's choose 3 jobs she can apply for. So you have to choose more than one correct answer. And again, it's the babysitter, waitress, computer shop assistant, and lifeguard. Okay, guys, I give you 1 minute to concentrate and get ready with your answers. Now, here are the answers. So, time for the answers. The first one, where does Natasha live? Full answer, please. Natasha lives in Liverpool. How many of her exams did Natasha pass at school? Full answer, please. Natasha passed 9 GCSEs at school, including math and English. The next one, Natasha doesn't have an email address. That is false. She has her email address. Number 4, are all the advertised jobs for weekend work? No, the babysitter work includes working during the weekdays. The next one, which 2 jobs are for weekend evenings? There are 2, a babysitter and a lifeguard. And the last one, 3 jobs, they include a babysitter, a waitress, and a lifeguard. And Natasha doesn't seem to be a good match for computer shop assistant. Okay, that's it with Natasha. Now, let's take a look on Martin Luke Moore. This is the guy, and here is some information about him. So we have to complete a CV, and you've got the words in the box above. So we've got their languages, references, email, education, address, date of birth, work experience, skills and interests, and mobile. Let's try. So, the 26th of August 1997, what is it? Definitely it's date of birth. Then comes 94 Albion Street, Birmingham, B23 2TF. And that's the address. Guys, take a look. First, you have to put the number of your house, then the name of the street, then the city, and then only the zip or postcode. Okay. Then comes the next one is morrow@myworld.com, and that's an email. Okay. Then comes 0778445288, and that's his mobile. And 7 GCSEs, including English, Math, and Science. One more bright student, and actually this is his education. Maybe he's getting ready for his A-levels. Then, cashier at a large supermarket. Cashier, the person who sits at the cash desk in the supermarket, and that's work experience. So, French A2, German A2 are the foreign languages he knows, and his level is A2 and A2 again in French and German. So these are languages. Then comes mountain biking, drawing, and computer programming. What a diverse personality. And these are, of course, his skills and interests. And the last one, Mr. Williams, Albion High School, Park Drive, Birmingham. Maybe it's his teacher from his school, and he gives him references. Well, seems to be a very strong CV for a teenager. Guys, I want you to be aware of one thing. Attention, please. The emails. I receive dozens of emails every day. From my colleagues, from my students, from their parents, any type of emails. And it is really easy and convenient to see the name in the email. And it's inappropriate, actually, to have funny emails for your jobs. And if you want to be like a responsible person, and if you want to be taken seriously, you have to use more formal style in your email address. Let's take a look. The first one is hotlegs59@hotmail.com. Well, who's that person? But the other one, agnes.elderman@gmail.com. Well, I can see the name and the surname of the person. Then comes chunkymonkey240@yahoo.com. Well, Chunky Monkey seems to be a really funny one, but not appropriate for your job interviews. It's better to use like C. Bloomies, because it's kind of a surname, and @gmail.com. The last one, very funny one. I hate work, and @al.com. Well, actually, it's better not to use that, even if you hate your work. So make it like Miguel A. Guzman @gmail.com. And to use Gmail, it's better because then you can synchronize all your calendars, and maybe your company will be using Gmail platform, so that will be really comfortable and easy. Okay, guys, so note this, and let's write our own CV. So you write together with me. Please get ready with your copybooks, and let's do it, so that by the end of the lesson, you don't have homework on it, and you've got your CV written. Okay, so here is the form that we will follow. I divided it into several parts, and we will fill in every part. Okay, so let's start with the first one. I will pretend that I am the guy we discussed in the previous minutes of the lesson. So, the name. Write down, please, your name, and I write Martin Luke Moore. Okay? Then, date of birth, and I write his date of birth. You write your dates of birth, and 26 August 1997. Then comes contact information. The first information is the address. And for Martin, it is 94 Albion Street, Birmingham, B23 2TF. Write down, guys, your postal address and start with the number of your house, then the street, then the city, and then the zip code or postcode. Okay, the next one, and you can see the icon, it is your email. For him, it is moro@myworld.com. So write down your email, and if you don't have a decent email address, do it. And it should be very simple. Mine is just olga.chestikova@gmail.com. Very easy to understand and very easy to see who sent you the letters. The last one is the phone number. So write down, please, your phone number, but keep the information in secret. Don't tell it to anybody, okay? The next one, please. And of course, you need to add a picture. And this picture has to be formal. You see, this guy is wearing a suit and a tie, and he seems to be friendly and smiling. So use a formal picture, not the picture from your vacations or from the beach, but a formal one in formal clothes. Okay, let's continue. Then comes education. For Martin, it's true that he passed 7 GCSEs, and they included English, math, and science. Last year, you passed your first Ukrainian tests, so you can say that I passed 3 tests, including Ukrainian, math, and English, for example, or Ukrainian, math, and history, or any other subject that you passed. And state that you finished your basic education, and now that you're in grade 10. Then comes work experience. If you have already had your work experience, you have to write it down. But if you didn't have your work experience, and actually everybody has had such a CV where this was not filled in because we all have to start with something, then leave it blank. Don't lie about your work experience. And for Martin, it's true that he worked as a cashier at a large supermarket. Okay? Write down, please, yours. You have to write education, and state your education, then work experience, and your work experience, or leave it blank. Okay, the next one, languages. For Martin, French, level A2, and German, level A2. Maybe some of you know Polish, maybe some of you know Spanish, Italian, and maybe Chinese or Korean. I know that some of you are studying Korean. Maybe you have to put it over there. And of course, state your level. Then comes skills and interests. For Martin, they are mountain biking, drawing, and computer programming. So for you, it may be the same or something else. If I were you, if I were a 10th grader, I would definitely write that my skills and interests are dancing, then I would say literature and traveling. These were the things I really enjoyed when I was in the 10th grade. Okay, ready with this, guys? Okay, then references. References are the recommendations, the good words from the other people. And for Martin, this is Mr. Williams, and probably he is his teacher. Think of your teachers, or think of your former employers who may give you good references. To get these good references, you should stay in good terms with all your former teachers or with all your former employers you want to get these references from. And remember not to have bad arguments when you leave the school or when you leave the job, because you will one day need the references. Okay? So guys, look through all the CV you've written. Is everything correct there? Then that's the last part. And you've done your written task, and we have now some time for a discussion. So the first time for a discussion. Have you ever had a part-time job? Well, I know that it's not very habitual in Ukraine for the teenagers to have part-time jobs. But time is changing, and maybe you are interested in this kind of job because you want to have some cash with you, and actually pocket money are not only those money you get from the parents. Maybe you want to get more independent. Okay, if you had any part-time jobs, what were they? Maybe you worked as a babysitter, or maybe you helped on a farm, or maybe you helped your parents in their companies. What do you think of part-time jobs for teenagers? Is it necessary? I strongly believe it is, because you have to concentrate not only on studies, but on your future life and get real life skills. What about the next question? Do you think it's a good idea for students to do part-time work? And again, there are two very separate opinions, two very opposite opinions on this topic. In my family, we had students who didn't work even part-time. They spent all their time studying and actually not working. And actually, it was really hard for them to get their first job because after 5 years of the university, they didn't have any work experience. On the other hand, we had the other students in our family who started working part-time from the very beginning of their studies at the university. Some of them benefited. They had more of independence from their parents because they had more money, and they got into a field of their studies, but being practical. But the others, they failed in their universities because they just went into work and actually they decided to stop their studies. So these questions are really difficult to discuss, but you have to think them over and make your own decision. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope that you did your CV during the lesson so that you don't have any homework. Guys, stay tuned, be safe, and wash your hands. See you next time. Bye.